Hey folks, my name is Pravus. Welcome back to more Hearts of Iron 4 Old World Blues. We are playing as the Kingdom of Manitoba, having conquered the north and destroyed the coalition to the south. And now we are beginning to restore the monarchy, right? All of these new focuses have opened up to us since we have decided not to have Gunn, decide to use Gunn, and we become the Commonwealth. No, we're going to go ahead and restore that monarchy, centralize authority, and we are going to make Canada into a truly safe place for, well, Canadians. And maybe we'll even take a little bit of vengeance against the Americans in the future. I don't know. Hey, look, bypass, bypass, bypass. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. None of this was an option for us. Still, that's nice. This actually saves me, like, how long? How long would this focus have even been? Probably like 3 months between all of these, as far as some time, so that's great. We could go ahead and start annexing some land very early on. Could also get things like some development museums and get a whole bunch of research speed bonuses and so on. Yeah, this is all good. This is looking really good. We'll also eventually be able to get some claims against the Unbound and the Red Hazards. The Red Hazards I recognize. That's these people. Who are the Unbound? Nope, they don't exist anymore. Pretty sure the Stampede may have killed them. Honestly, how strong do we think these guys are? Not that strong. Not that strong. We could take out the Stampede. We could crush the Stampede. What about the Communists? Okay, they're strong. The Communists be strong. Okay, we gotta be a little bit afraid of them. They are my next true rival. If I wanted to go ahead and justify on, let's say, the Church of the Silo, though, we might as well just go ahead and do that. What else am I doing with this army? We might as well make use of it and take more staff. I'm also sitting on way more factories than I know what to do with, which we're gonna get a lot more once I get my compliance up with Winnipeg and in the Metis Congress, which shouldn't take me too much longer, to be honest, and it's totally worth getting that 40% extra compliance. That's really good. I'm also going to go ahead and make use of some of these little special effects with our extra money, since we got a lot of Kennebucks right now. Get an extra operative in my nation? That sounds great, we should do that. Never underestimate the value of having some spies, not only because of some of the missions they'll be able to run, but just generally having a lot of intel on your enemy gives you a lot of extra, intel. What I'm trying to say is it helps you make more informed decisions, and that's always valuable. Intel wins wars. Not by itself, but it sure as heck makes a difference. All right, Winnipeg now has that extra 40% compliance. We're gonna do the same thing over here, then we can focus on other good stuff. Okay, there's my war goal, nice and easy. Begin, go. And would it be worth maybe taking over Vault 37 as well? Vaults usually have some good stuff, right? Sure. Oh yeah, this church has absolutely no chance in heck. All right, and there we go, we've reintegrated the Metis. All right, so that's done. Now, what else do we wanna do? Regional identity, lose political power, gain a bunch of manpower, resource gain efficiency, and so on. A bunch of workshops could be useful. Dockyards, ace generations, airships. I don't usually get to use blimps very often. That can be fun. I think I want to have a Stonewall Memorial. Losing some war support sucks, but boosting up your stability even further is always a good thing. We can continue militarizing our society if we need to. I mean, what you really want to have is war propaganda. This is what's going to get you a lot of war support without costing you a bunch of other stuff. 100 political power ain't cheap, though. Anyway, there goes the Church of the Silo. That was as easy as we expected it to be. And my son is banging on the door. Hang on. This little kiddo, man, he knows exactly where I am. He does not like it when I do my recording. Do you, little buddy? Oh, look at all the colors. Do you see all the cool colors on the screen? Yeah, are you a little confused? You probably are. Oh, you got something you want to say. Wow. Wow. Come here, Prego wife. Let's get him out of here. Thank you kindly. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Yeah. Like I said, this kid does not like it when I record. He's a daddy's boy, that is for sure. All right, now that we've remembered Stowall, I think we want to go ahead and probably start annexing some of our vassals, right? Yeah, let's go ahead and take them on. And the good thing is they also are all cores if we do this, which means no resistance. Immediately we get all of the benefit. New problem, the Red Hazards just demanded territory from me. Redeploy. You guys can try to take it. You really can. Look at this, by the way, the Legion. Another 10% soft attack and hard attack on my special forces and 400% HP on my armies. That is nuts. All right, so the ultimatum has come and gone. You gonna do anything about it? You gonna declare war? You gonna do anything, Red Hazards? No? It's all a bluff. It's all a bluff. And the Eastern Marches are mine, including all of your soldiers. All 15 of them. I shall quickly reorganize into my own templates because who wants to have competing templates? Oops, and the Red Hazards did declare war the second I pulled my troops off the front line. Haha! It wasn't a bluff! Which is fine, because now I can just crush you. I mean, he's got some pretty strong troops over here, don't get me wrong. Like, these ghouls are not total pushovers. Well, we'll go ahead and begin our assault. Don't anticipate this is going to take too long. We just need to get into places like Fort Peck, get Furland, which we should be doing in just a moment. And there we go. Uh-oh. At death's door. No. Gunn stood behind the desk observing the laws and edicts laid before him. Ever since that night, he had worked tirelessly to ensure the kingdom would continue. Untrustworthy advisors had been dismissed, the most competent taking their place. His vassals had been placated and made to swear new oaths of loyalty in front of their people. Tanner had been by his side, ensuring that the military would remain strong and dedicated to the kingdom and the monarch who ruled it. Progress has been going well, yet it was still not enough. There was so much more to do, laws to write, edicts sworn in, grants to be given. But Gunn knew his time was running out. His hands shook more and more, his thoughts harder to maintain, the words of those around him more difficult to understand. Even the most clueless member of the courts could tell he was degrading before their very eyes, and had begun to whisper more. Tanner and Catherine could see it too, and urged him to measure himself, to rest and preserve his mental strength. Tanner had even put forward the idea to search the frozen wasteland for a cure, lost in old research laboratories and military projects. But could Gunn afford to do that? Waste valuable time on something many considered a hopeless pipe dream, when there was still so much more he needed to do? The thought filled his every waking hour, and the fate of the kingdom could very much rely on it. Perhaps he could spare some time to preserve his mind. Activate the mission. Oh gosh, his condition has worsened. Every 60 days, something bad is gonna happen. Ouch! Okay, we need to heal him. We need to heal him fast. Is there some focus that's gonna lead to the healing? I only see his Imperial Majesty, which means we have to have... It looks like there's gonna be a Regency Council at some point, and we need to be healed in some capacity or another. So I see no focuses that will lead to that. So there's probably gonna be some sort of a special... Oh wait, here it is. I don't know why I didn't just look at this first. There's apparently things we can do. All right, offload the administrative duties. The chance of nothing happening will increase. Right now it is 0%. We could administer chems. Okay. We could purchase medical devices, finance a palliative cure, which is gonna cost me my economy greatly, and then we could try to go for experimental treatments. Okay. So basically, every 60 days, I'm going to be crushing either my political power or my economy in order to try and force nothing bad to happen here, because these are bad. These are really bad. You know what I don't see here, though? A cure. It's not good. Anyway, Langenberg just got annexed, so that's a thing now. Yay! And they're all terrible templates again. Though I will say, they've got a lot of enforcers as well. Enforcers, as we have found, if built correctly, can be surprisingly okay units. Anyway, alright, so the Red Hazards are down, so that's good. Let's take all that land. And quickly relocate everybody down here to Vault 37, because this will be done in 3 days. We'll get ourselves some upgrades on our recon kits, because that is not ahead of time, and that's going to be a bunch of stat bonuses for my Special Forces units. And there's my justification done. So of course we declare our war and go forth, my Mounties! Or don't. Why aren't you attacking? You don't feel good about this? I guess they're waiting for their organization to get up. Fair enough. Let's try that now. There we go. That's looking a lot better. These guys actually have a fair bit of robots that are defending, which is admittedly a small problem, but I think all we have to do is just break through a little bit and they'll crumble before me. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that a Vault is putting together such a effective stand against me right now. Usually the Vaults are technologically advanced, but I mean, like, I don't know, you think about a Vault and you don't think that they have a huge fielded army. There we go. War complete. So Vault 37 is done. Here's something. Tanner burst into Gunn's study, an exasperated servant following behind. Gunn looked up from his paperwork, annoyed at being disturbed, the extra noise compounding the pain from his headache. Before he could question what Tanner was doing here, he slid a report onto his desk. Gunn began to read it, his eyes widening as he did so. Reports of pre-war facilities, rumors of strange lights and horrible creatures, and old myths of experiments from ages past. Could these places have a cure for him? To think that such places of horrible scientific perversions could be the hope he needed to save him. Was this worth the risk, when all other options could only serve as momentary reprieves? Gunn turned to Tanner and authorized expeditions to find these facilities. Okay. There's, by the way, a 78% chance right now that nothing bad is going to happen. My king's current status is tenuous. I think I accidentally missed one of these. Gosh, 60 days is not a lot of time in between each of these. I think I probably missed one or two of these events happening, and I probably took some nasty pain in my country I didn't even notice. I mean, it looks like my ideology is fine. I don't see my stability going down. Maybe we just lost... Oh, we lost a lot of political power. I did miss one. We lost 90 political power because I forgot to click these buttons. Ah! Well, we need to get some political power together so that I can survey the gateway, and this will be a way for me to start making progress in the Manifest North. But my political power generation is truly atrocious right now. I almost am tempted to stop doing focuses for a little while, just so I can build this up and speed this along. I don't know if that's dumb or not. Is there anywhere I could spend some money that would get me more political power generation? Yes. Radio programming. Do it. Okay, the king has once again gotten to an alarming state. It looks like no matter what bad things could happen, his status will continue to deplete no matter what. So we really are constantly under the gun to actually get this done. Under the gun. Ha ha, that's very funny. No, we seriously have to move fast though, because no matter how many negative events I can avoid, there's still a very good chance that this king is gonna freaking die. Also, the Canadian People's Court are now attacking Middlemark and the Great Stampede. If they take all of this, they are going to be a true rival power. We have surveyed the gateway. We found it! The facility that the rumors spoke of. The door is sealed shut. Our scouts report that multiple inhuman things are stalking the area. We could begin the efforts to secure it. Blow open the entrance and slaughter the horrors. Start with blowing open the entrance. 30 days. Oh god, we are going to be pushing it. He's going to go from alarming to like imminent death, and we may barely survive this in time. I have to have 8 divisions in Manifest North. Alright, hang on. Where is Manifest North? There it is. It is way up over here. I need to send 8 divisions over here? No problem. There's our justification for another round of war. Sure, why not? We're still a warmonger. That war should be super duper fast. Easy peasy. Okay, now we have to decide what we're going to do about Standing Rock. Hopefully nothing, since they're fighting other people. And instead start thinking about what do we want to do against, let's say, the Great Stampede. Probably take some territory before the Canadian People's Front can grab all of it. So what would happen if the king actually died, by the way? Like, I'm actually curious. If the king died, would we cease being able to do, like, almost any of these? Would this just end? That'd be really weird. Well, either way, we've blown open the entrance, slaughter the horrors, another 30 days to slaughter all of them, huh? Alright, so we're gonna go through one more round of this, guaranteed. Please don't give me something bad here. And hold on. The Canadians People Front just declared war on me next. Okay. I stand by my current strategy in that I think it makes sense to attack the Great Stampede and use this as an opportunity to push through, encircle all of the units on their front by doing this, and then we can clear out the Canadian People's Front. But this was not my goal! My king is on the verge of death, dang it! We're barely holding on here! Oh, God. Good news is I've already had plenty of troops on this front line, so I don't think Stratholm can do very much. Strath Commune, People's Front, whatever, you know what I mean. So I think this is where I'm just going to go ahead and declare our war against the Great Stampede, and this is going to be risky, but I think it'll work. And there's no resistance, so I want you to be very aggressive. Make your push. Still, really no successful pushes by the People's Front, so let's see. Yeah, I think this is going to work out just fine. Just keep pushing. We need to get across this river right over here, then push up to the north. Get up to this point around Paradise Hill, and then encircle and crush everything over here. That is assuming, of course, that the communists don't have a ton of forces right here that end up causing some problems, which they might. Do they have any supply points on the front line that if I take, we can really hurt them? Yeah, Fairy Glen and Nipawin. If we could take those, which maybe we can, that actually would be pretty good for us. We can make a few counterattacks over here and just apply some pressure. Make them take a lot of attrition. We are across the river. We're going to start spearheading our way straight up through the north. And, what else? Since, you know what? Since we're taking a lot of new land, let's go ahead and grab governing new lands here. Reduce the resistance targets and damage to garrisons, preserves my manpower and equipment a bit more. We're taking tons of stuff, so we might as well. The, yeah, Great Stampede is in no way, shape, or form ready for what is hitting them right now. They're getting absolutely wrecked on all sides. Really need blue to finish off this territory so that I can move them. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and start doing that now. We need to have a front line up in this direction so that we can hold this land, because if I get cut off right now, this is going to be a tragic set of losses. Very risky gambit I'm taking right now, to be honest. We're stretching ourselves way too thin. I've punched a huge hole. Oh god, what happens now? Now we have to restore a production wing and a DNA replicator. Oh gosh. I have to survive even longer here. I thought that was going to be it. Okay, crap. This is gonna take even longer. We have like 90 more days of repairs to do. No, no, no. Okay, so this is what we call one heck of an encirclement. Not totally. They've got a lot of local supply generation, but no reinforcements should be coming through this area. So now if I start pushing aggressively to the east, we can round up and crush this entire army. Still very risky. There's a lot of ways that this can go wrong against me right now, but we're gonna try. Okay, we get to bypass Fairy Glen, Pleasantdale, and Wodena over here entirely. The ferry program. Ahead of time penalty reduced for special forces could be great. Not worried about any of that right now, though. What else would make a big difference? Anything? Air equipment, blah, blah, blah. Improved elite armor. I don't even know, man. I would like to get to things like Golden once more. I've wanted to do that for a while. Let's go over Queen Catherine's greenhouses, because until I do that, I can't start empowering the queen. And she could do some nice stuff for me. We like our queen. She's great. Okay, so the king is about to have some problems again. All right, so he's still in an alarming state. Keep it going. Oh, Great Stampede just died. Crap. Wasn't planning on that. Where do we not want to have problems going forward? Honestly, it doesn't matter, because we're going to take all of this land anyway. We could try to take some land in weird spots like this just to really screw him over, but I don't see that as a very good option. Let's just go ahead and just take land over to, like, my south, so I just don't have to think about it. Sure, it's not much, but I don't really care. End this peace conference. Thank you. Moving on. He's pushing me back in the west right now, which is not surprising, but it's also not a big deal. I just need to hold it long enough to crush this army. What is this? Something horrible happening? Oh, good, an alien infestation. Yeah, we've seen that crap before. All right, restore the DNA replications. And then to restore the lab, I have to research refined mixtures. Pardon moi? Hold on, what is that? That feels like something down here. There it is. I need this. Crap. That's going to set me back a bit, because that's going to take a little while to research. I should have checked that to see what the requirements were for the biology lab, and I did not. Anyway, okay, so that's a nice little encirclement happening there. Good. Let's take green and clear out everything over here. Blue is holding the west line. They're doing great. We've almost crushed this. All these units are getting encircled. I mean, they already were, but now they're really aware that they're getting encircled. They're going to start panicking soon. And this, by the way, is the entire People's Army of the East now completely crushed. My gambit totally worked against a player that would have sucked. So for the record, I have killed almost 20,000 of their men, and I have lost 422. Yeah, that worked. That worked really well. So guess what we do next? They've got all their troops on this front line. We just push around this way so that Middlemark can kill them while I take over everything else. This war will be over very, very soon. Don't you worry. I just need my king to, like, you know, not die. Oh, God. In the meantime, the communists have no defenses left. Everything is on their front line getting absolutely wrecked. And there's my refined mixtures. Okay, restore the lab, 30 days. Should time out hopefully just right. I don't know if that's all I need in order to get the cure, but it's close. We've also empowered our queen, reducing our consumer goods a bit more. Order of the Pristine Rose, make medical chems even better than they used to be. I'd rather just go ahead and get the ancestor cults replaced with revisited inheritance laws. You know something, is there any reason we shouldn't just go ahead and plan on a war against Middlemark? Nah, just go ahead and get ready for it. Because whatever they take from the Canadian People's Front, I'm pretty sure I'm going to want to take back. Which, by the way, that war just ended. Alrighty, and I get the lion's share of the war score because I am the most effective and the bestest at what I do. When will these communists learn? No communist ideology can ever surpass a simple monarchy. The people crave a heavy hand, or something probably. And in fact, I don't think I'm going to let you take any land at all. I think I'm just going to go ahead and bully you. This is all mine. All of it. There. See? Done. Middlemark gets nada. Nice. So I'd say we're doing a pretty good job of painting the map our color right now. It's looking pretty good. 3 more days until we have restored the biology labs. Please tell me this is the last step. I don't... Oh, destiny awaits. Lose a research slot, gain 1. Gosh dang, I have to go through this one more time. Frickin' heck. And there we go. Welcome to Manifest. Gunn II walked through the dark corridor, the cold metal walls looming over him, the ceiling hidden in the unending darkness. His mountie guards walked behind him, nervously looking around at the fleshy shapes half hidden in the shadows. Their commander, William Tanner, walked beside Gunn, his rifle shaking in his hands. One of the figures shifted forward, bringing it into the flickering remains of the facility's lights. Its form was humanoid, yet the rolls of rolling flesh. Can Come on, let's use a bit more descriptive adjectives, please. And misshapen features turned Gunn's stomach in revulsion. If his face hadn't been ruined by radiation, it would have been as pale as death. This was a new level of horror, even greater than the American occupier centuries ago. Yet he did not show this fear, for the king was expected to stand firm in the face of such monstrous adversity. Despite this, as the group entered the central chamber, even Gunn was unable to hide his shivers at what he saw. A giant chamber, divided into multiple glass boxes filled with more of those flesh creatures. Strange pods, some broken open, pulsed with energy, connected by power cables to a massive box attached to the roof. As they stood under the strange box, a screen flickered to life, showing the shimmering image of a young woman. The woman spoke. "Welcome to Manifest North." "Who are you? What is this place?" "I am Destiny, and this is Manifest's finest research facility." Gunn looked around the room, wondering what knowledge such a horrid place could serve to create. "Manifest is the next step for humanity. My purpose is to continue the experiment, no matter the cost." Gunn fell silent for a moment, aware that his men were watching him. Such horrors they had seen, but this may be his only chance. "Your experiments, can they fix a man's mind?" "As I said, Manifest is the next step for humanity. It can do so much more. But can it fix me?" Silence. The screen flickered, as if the AI was considering its answer. Gunn's men were silent, yet he could feel their unease at their king's words. Finally, Destiny spoke. "It could serve as a remedy for whatever mental condition ails you. However, only if we could come to an agreement." "That depends on the conditions." Despite his uncommitted response, the desire was evident in his voice, a way to escape fate, to prevent his descent into madness. "I wish to continue the Manifest experiments. Let me continue my work, providing me with test subjects, and I shall do all I can to fix you." Gunn stared up at the image, then back at Tanner. His loyal friend's face was blank, but his eyes betrayed the fear and distrust he truly felt. Turning back to Destiny, Gunn spoke. "We have an accord. Here's a thought. Let's not provide the test subjects. Get fixed and then betray the AI. Also declare another war, because I do things like that." Gunn and Tanner stood in a room filled with glowing vats, the soft light emanating from them bathing the two Manitobans. In one of the vats and suspended in the fluid was a human brain, Gunn's new brain, one freed from the centuries of degradation and radiation. The king placed his hand on the glass, staring in awe. This was it, a clean slate, free from the constant threat of madness and savagery. Tanner, however, was not looking at the vat. He wiped the condensation on the glass of another, jumping back in shock at what he saw. A horrible lump of flesh and bone, its face mutilated and broken, yet still recognizable. He had arrested this man a month ago, and sent him to Manifest North as a test subject. Tanner did not trust Destiny, yet before he could voice his concern to Gunn, her deceptively disarming voice spoke over an intercom. "As you can see, King Gunn, a perfectly healthy and stable specimen as promised. I must run more tests and checks before we can commence the procedure. I shall inform you when it is ready, as per our agreement." The king nodded, making his way out the room, his loyal Mountie close behind. When they emerged into the blinding daylight, Tanner could no longer restrict himself. "My king, is this wise? I do not trust this machine. Who knows what its true intentions are for both you and this so-called experiment it runs? You're putting yourself in great risk, and I won't be able to protect you if you go ahead. So please, tell me, are you going through with this?" Silence. Not even the world around them made a noise as Tanner stared at his king. Finally, Gunn looked up to meet his gaze and spoke. "I have to, William." Gunn stared at the auto dock with apprehension, its cold metal doors sliding open with a pneumatic hiss. His new mind floated peacefully in the vat next to it, the chance at a future of peace bathed in the soft green glow. Gunn was fearful. What if the operation failed? Destiny had well explained the risks of such an operation. He could very well die today. Thinking more on Destiny, the AI did not reassure him. Its experiments continued to produce more and more of those horrible monstrosities, and yet it demanded more subjects. Even for the most heinous criminals in the kingdom, Gunn was loath to send them to such this fate. If Tanner was right, God knows what this machine could do to him. Yet he knew he could not afford to refuse this chance. Even now, at the precipice of salvation, he felt his mind claw and scratch at its sanity. If he left now, he would have days left at the most. His thoughts turned to Catherine, her lovely smile, and her supporting hand. This was for her. Determination driving him on, Gunn stepped into the auto dock and closed his eyes as the door slid shut. Immediately, he felt the machine grab him and inject drugs into him. Slowly, he dozed off, hoping he'd been right. He awoke in a cold sweat. his breaths haggard and weak. The room was dim, light only daring to enter through a crack under the door. Where was he? What was going on? He stumbled out of his bed, this body feeling numb and different? What a strange feeling, like it belonged to someone else. Opening the door, the blinding light made him wince. He stepped out into the room. Some people were there. Did he know these people? They looked familiar, but for the life of him, he couldn't place the names. In fact, he couldn't remember his own name either. Who was he? Why was this woman running towards him? Tears flowed down her face as she threw her arms around him. Strange, this felt familiar, like it's something he'd always known. He looked down at her. She was hugging him so tightly. Did she miss him? Had he gone somewhere? She reached up to hold his face and spoke to him. "Edward, my love." She kissed him and it all came flooding back. Returning the kiss, Gunn spun his wife around in the air, his own tears flowing in joy. It worked! It actually worked! No longer would he lie awake at night in fear of becoming a monster. He set Catherine down and looked towards the others. He laughed as he saw Tanner trying not to smile, standing at attention as always. Gunn made his way over to him, laughing as Tanner saluted him. He clasped his old friend on the shoulder before turning back and wrapping his arms around his wife. It was the dawn of a new age for the kingdom, one that Gunn, for the first time in his life, looked forward to. Long live the Kingdom of Manitoba! We are no longer the decaying one. And that feels like a very good place for us to end this video. Okay, crisis averted. Now we can begin the true conquests. Probably only one more video left in the series. I definitely want to go ahead and conquer the remainder of Canada. And I'm curious what's going to happen once we become His Imperial Majesty. That could be fun, a spirited victory. Maybe, just maybe, I will get all the war goals I need to restore Canada to its true glory. Thank you all for watching, hope you enjoyed. If so, I ask that you hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, make sure you hit that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.